Hi, my name is Christine. Um, I go by Chrissy on TikTok and Instagram. Today is July 14th, 2020. Oh, I was involved with the comedian Poe, aka Ryan Poe, and Catherine Janome, whatever the fuck. Um, or I Am Princess Kitty from like late May to like early January. I was with them for a little under a month, maybe about a month, but either way, I was their partner before this JJ person was. Uh, and this is my story as to what actually happened. The whole drama of me threatening them or whatever. This probably won't be uploaded or published or whatever the fuck you want to say until after July 25th or July 23rd, probably a few days after. Mainly because like I'm probably not gonna edit this right now. Also, my court date isn't until July 23rd, so there's that. And I'm having major anxiety just recording this in general, so I can only imagine how much anxiety I'm gonna have publishing this. So I'm gonna be using Poe's videos because Poe published videos on June 21st as to their side of the story. So I just want to start off by saying that I was detained and arrested on June 16th, 2020. I was released on June 20th? Let me say June 20th, 2020. Either way, I was in jail for 3 days. I was arrested on the charge of a domestic dispute or a domestic charge, for talking technical terms. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into the videos that he published. So I'm gonna put them up on the screen while they play. So yeah, so don't worry.
We were gonna break up with Christine and go our separate ways, and that was it. But looks like Christine wants to act like the victim in this situation and is now siding with the law and all of them. So yeah, this is what actually is happening and what actually happened between us. Christine threatened to murder me, JJ, and Kat.
So I never threatened Poe, Kat, or JJ. When I was arrested, the charge was for threatening Poe, only Poe. I didn't threaten him in the first place, but the original charge was just for threatening Poe, nobody else. So yeah.
Multiple times, to a point where we all had to stay awake all night, hide all of our sharp objects, and call the police. And right here is the police report.
I just want to put out there, just because they have police reports doesn't mean any of the information is true. I know that a lot of people have been saying that in my comments on Instagram and TikTok, talking about the reports. Just because they have reports doesn't mean it's true. Just want to put that out there.
Why this happened? Well, here you go. A day prior, we went on a date with JJ. Christine knew about this and was okay with it, said okay. And then the next day they met. Christine already seemed off as it was. I don't know what was going on with them.
Poe claims that he had no idea what was going on with me and that I seemed off already and he had no idea why. So I want to clear up real quickly. So yes, they did go on a date with JJ and I did say it was fine. I said it was fine that they went and hung out with this person. Nothing else. Well, with the whole they didn't know what was up thing, that's a lie. So Poe had messaged me the day after, or the day of their date, or whatever you want to call it. He was asking me, both Kat and Poe did, asking me if they could ask out JJ. I said no, that I wasn't comfortable with them going out with somebody that I didn't know. He claims that I seemed off and he had no idea why, which is also false. So while he was messaging me, so he messaged me the next day too, asking if it was okay that they asked out JJ. And I was still saying no, and he kept constantly bringing it up. He brought it up 3 times within an hour. I was messaging him saying that I mentally wasn't okay and stable, and I wasn't mentally in a good headspace, and that I really didn't want to talk about it, and he still continued to want to push it and insist. So yeah, so there's that. So he knew that I mentally wasn't okay, and I told him that I mentally wasn't okay and that there was a lot going on. I never went into specifics, mainly because I didn't understand what was going on either. So yeah, he did have somewhat of an understanding. He knew that I was not in a mentally good headspace at the time, but then he was still insisting on going out with JJ and me meeting JJ so they could go out. So there's that. So yeah, back to the video.
Later on, one of Kat's friends fainted and went to the hospital. So I took Kat and Christine to the hospital.
So yes, that's another thing about the hospital thing that is true. Kat's partner, the Kat and this friend were dating at the time. She did go to the hospital, and Kat asked me to go to the hospital with them, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Kat also asked Poe, and Poe was very aggressive about it and said no.
And I came back here because I have a thing for hospitals. I don't like them. And I was having a panic attack as to what. I told them I was going to be coming back at some point, but I just need space. Part 2 coming soon. Trust me guys, I hate the drama just as much as you do.
Ending that lovely part 1, Poe never said he was going to come back. He asked us to call him when Trish was okay and when we wanted to come home. And not even then. He asked if Trish's fiance could bring us home instead of him having to come back and get us. So yeah, now that lovely part 1 was wrapped up, let's get to part 2.
While we brought up Christine, go watch part 1 because this is pretty important actually. So I came back here because I was mid-panic attack and stuff and I needed to calm down. And JJ was here. That's not JJ, that's JJ. Because I had them take over my stream while we went to the hospital.
Meanwhile, Christine and I were at the hospital waiting for my friend, and they were obsessing over the fact that they thought that Poe was cheating on us.
So that is also false. We were actually chilling out and having fun and kind of talking our shit. Not about Poe, but we were just talking our shit in general. We were just hanging out and talking. Somehow the topic changed to Poe, and I started to get a bad feeling, and I went to go see if he was still alive on Twitch, because Kat had also had her suspicions about JJ and Poe. It wasn't just me who was not exactly obsessed, but very suspicious, I guess, or cautious, or whatever word you want to use, as to what was actually going on, because we weren't there, and Poe has a history of cheating. So yeah, I wasn't obsessing. We were all talking about it, and yeah. So another thing that they also failed to mention is that afterwards, Kat had called Poe, telling him to come back, and he was still saying no, that he didn't want to come back because he didn't like hospitals, so he wasn't gonna come back, and yeah.
And they threatened to kill him if they saw him.
Again, never threatened to kill anybody.
They became so absorbed with jealousy and literally for some reason had no trust in me.
It's not that I was it's not that I was consumed with jealousy and had no trust. Poe gave me a reason not to trust him because Kat had also pulled me aside and told me that Poe made out with JJ on their date. Kat also told me that they kissed JJ too. So it's not that I didn't have trust in him. He gave me a reason not to trust him. I wasn't consumed with jealousy though. I was never jealous. I was mad. There's a difference.
Keep in mind, they gave us the okay to go on a date with JJ. They knew that we liked them.
I don't know why he felt the need to bring up the fact that I said it was okay that he goes on a date with or that they go on a date with JJ. I did say that was okay, but that's not what the problem was. The problem was that while he was on that date with JJ, he made out with them. But
they also knew we weren't going to do anything without their okay. So later on, they came back here.
Oh, okay, another thing. So while we were at the hospital, another thing that they also failed to mention is that while we were at the hospital, JJ had a seizure, and I was the person, I'm not going to go into full details, because, yeah, it's just a long story, but JJ had a seizure. I was the one that made sure that they didn't die. Poe came over there and started rubbing on their thighs if that helps during a seizure. Also, I didn't go directly back to their house. I went to a friend's house and got extremely drunk, and then the person who I was with, the friend that I was with, took me back to Poe and Kat's house saying that you can be their problem now.
And were all nice to me. But Kitty and a few of our friends who were there were very concerned.
I love how he says that their friends were very concerned when they were also the ones saying that they would shoot him and talking about beating his ass and stuff like that, so.
Because the whole car ride back here and just the whole time at the hospital, they kept saying how they wanted to kill me. We got to the point where we had to hide all the sharp objects in the house. And we all had to stay up all night because we were afraid that something was going to happen. Part 3 coming soon.
So now that we're done with lovely part 2, another thing, I passed out while I was at Kat and Poe's house. I was sleeping when I was arrested. So the whole they had to hide their sharp objects things was kind of bullshit. So yeah.
While we broke up with Christine, go watch the other few parts because this is actually a pretty important thing. So throughout the night, they were very nice to me and like creepily nice though.
So he says that I was creepily nice to him. Again, I was drunk. So, yeah. And I was also being nice to him because he was my boyfriend. So, didn't know that you're not supposed to be nice to your boyfriend. But, I mean, go off, I guess.
But behind my back, apparently they
threatened to kill you.
Apparently in detail. But that's not it. They also told Kat how they were going to drown them in the bathtub.
So the whole me drowning Kat in the bathtub thing was also false. Kat ran a bath for me as soon as I got back to the apartment, and she ran a bath for me, a bubble bath, and she gave me like this little like scrubby frog thingamabobber, and it fell in the water, and I was like, oh no, it's drowning. And she goes, oh no, save it. And I said, don't worry, I did, because I took it out of the water.
When they were in the bathtub, and they showed them with a stuffed animal. They said how they wanted to bring crucifixion back so they could crucify JJ, and at one point was like, I could strangle you and nobody would hear you, as they had their arms wrapped around them and started squeezing.
Never said that I was going to crucify JJ. I'm an atheist, so I don't believe in, I mean, I know that crucifixion was a real thing, but I don't believe in crucifixion. So, yeah. Doesn't it seem kind of sus to anybody that was explained like extremely in detail? Or is that just me? Yeah. Never said that either.
We were all very scared and very concerned for our life.
So as for Poe and them being scared for their lives, Poe has told me multiple times when we were dating, when I was at their apartment, that he wasn't scared of me and that he could kick my ass any day of the week because he was a professional wrestler. So
we called the police, and they came and took them away.
Before Poe called the police, he actually called my mom. So Poe had a hold of my phone. Kat was the only one that knew the password to it because I was letting her use it because Poe had taken their phone when he left the hospital. So Kat knew my password because I gave it to them to contact Trish while they were still in the hospital. So yeah, so they contacted my mom off of my phone and took my mom's number off of my phone. And yeah, so they tampered with my phone too. They called my mom before they called the cops, and my mom was actually about to come get me, and then they called the cops when she was getting ready to come get me, and they contacted my mom, letting her know that they contacted the cops.
We wanted to be civil about it. We messaged Christine that we were breaking up and what happened.
They never messaged me
because we kind of believe it was a manic episode or something. Blocked them and wanted to just leave it. But now they're posting all over their page about how they feel safe now and they're finally free and stuff, which...
So yeah, I did post on my page about how I felt safe and that I was free. I had just been released from jail.
Playing the victim. Like I said, here's our police report. And here's a screenshot of them talking about wanting to kill me.
So, once again, the police report's fake. I know that they just showed a screenshot of which it's there for a second and then gone. But basically, in the screenshot, Kat, I was messaging Kat saying that I felt bad for leaving them with Poe and JJ because I know that they were mad at Poe too. I never said that. In that screenshot, it says that that I was going to kill him and that I was pissed, which it's tampered screenshots. I did say like I feel bad for leaving you, but I never said that I was going to kill him. That I was pissed off. By the way, Kat didn't message me back after saying like I feel bad for leaving you. And if you notice, it says pissed is spelled wrong. And also the owl is it's also spelled wrong. It's spelled ill, and the I'm doesn't have a I forget what it's called. It's like it's not like a comma. It's like an upward comma. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah. So yeah. So you can obviously tell that those weren't my messages because I am am very big on using correct grammar and punctuation, of which Kat and Poe are not. So, yeah.
Part 4, while we broke with Christine, I really didn't want to post about any of this. I really wish that, we could have just gone our separate ways, but they're going to act like the victim and decide to join law and all of them just because of this. Yeah, I'm going to say something. We wouldn't have called the police if we didn't absolutely feel threatened. But we got to the point where we had to hide all of our sharp objects and had to stay awake all night. It wasn't just us here, we had 2 other friends here with us, and they felt like I was in danger. We decided not to press charges or anything like that, which we had the option to. Instead, we asked their family to try to get them some help.
So they never did ask my family to get me help. I have screenshots, which will be posted like right here or so, of my of Poe and my mom's conversation. Of which, again, my mom was the only one he contacted afterwards.
They acted threatened, and just because they weren't the center of attention anymore, that they had to find a way to be it again. I just find it kind of sad that because we had to do that, they're now acting like the victim and are supporting the people who hate us. After they fought for us so hard. We also found out that they lied about many things in our relationship.
So, I'm not even sure what I lied about during our relationship. So, also, this just proves they tampered with my phone. Because even if I was lying about whatever, how the fuck would they know?
Which was surprising. Very important things, actually. We really hope they get the help they need and can move on from this whole thing. Like I said, we didn't want to post anything about it. We're really tired of the drama. Thank you everyone for your love and support.
I don't really know what else to say about this. Oh, they've also threatened to kill me.
Like I said, they have nothing...
Can I shoot her?
Yeah, probably.
So I have full permission to kill Christine and Avery.
They sent people to come and attack me.
Can you go mess with her? Don't say that I sent you. Don't say that you know anything about us. Go for it. What is Chrissy's TikTok?
TKER.
And a lot of other things. So, yeah. If you guys have any questions about any of this, or, if I'm leaving anything out that might be seen as important, let me know and I'll clear stuff up. This is the last thing I'm going to be posting about this. I don't plan on posting anything else. Even if, they decide to make more videos talking about it, I probably won't make any more. I really don't want any more of this drama. I really want people to stop sending me death threats, telling me to kill myself, bringing my friend into this, calling me a liar, calling me a psychopath, calling me a crazy bitch, all of this other stuff. I don't want it anymore. And that's why I'm making these videos, so that way I can clear my side of the story up. I also have screenshots from friends where I've messaged them talking about this and they were calling Poe and Kat toxic even before I realized they were toxic. On that note, this is the end of the video. Thank you all for supporting me. Thank you all for listening to me. If you made it this far. That's all I have to say for now. Bye, guys.